Hello and welcome to another episode of Virtual City Hall School. Today I want to talk about rec centers. The City of Edmonton wants everybody to live active, and rec centers are a great place for people to go for recreation, for fitness, relaxation, or personal development. Today when we are recording this episode, the rec centers are closed, but that doesn't stop us from virtually learning. I'd like to introduce you to the principal of Community Rec Centre at Commonwealth, Greg Witt. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. And also our student reporter, Emma.
Hello.
So Emma, go ahead with your questions.
All right. So my first question is, in your opinion, why are rec centers important?
Well, I think rec centers are important, and I mean this time that we're in right now really shows how important they are. That we have a bunch of people that can't access them, and how are they going to get physically fit? I think rec centers, number one, provide a place where people can go and exercise and work out, and the obvious things and the health benefits that are associated with that. But I think more than that, they're also a place for people to connect, for neighborhoods and communities and families to get together, and they offer a wide range of things from skating to social areas where they can talk. Many of our rec centers have libraries in them where people can go to, and coffee shops and visit, but also providing the opportunity for physical fitness and movement and all of those things that help people individually as well as communities become healthy places to be.
Cool, I totally agree with you. What is your biggest responsibility at Commonwealth Rec Centre and why?
These are all good. That's a good question. I think my biggest responsibility is to make sure that the space provided for people to come in and, like we talked about, recreate, socialize, get fit, is a safe place to do that, and a safe place from the equipment that's being used to a safe place for people to feel that they can come in and not, uh, feel pressured or feel bad. It's my job is to make sure that we're an inclusive space where everybody's welcome, and that people can come in basically at any time that we're open and feel safe and get fit and have fun.
Interesting. What's one important thing you've learned from your work?
I think probably the most important thing I've learned from the work that I do is it's extremely important to listen to not only staff and employees, but also listen to citizens that are coming in to use it. And some of the best ideas that we have and that we get as far as where to place equipment and what activities to do within the facility and what people would like to do is not necessarily prescribed from us, but it's from engaging with the community and listening to their views and their opinions. An example of that would be the Macaulay community was just off to the west of us, approached me. They wanted to have a meeting, and so I sat down with their community league, and they said, it sure would make a big difference if you put a garbage can and some bags for dogs just outside by sort of the park area, because that area is not very well utilized. So we did that one simple thing, and all of a sudden that park area on the backside of Commonwealth is now very actively used by the community to bring their dogs out there. There's picnics out there. All of a sudden, this whole space is all engaged. And that was just from a comment of me doing something simple, like putting a garbage can in a stand for dog bags. So I think listening and understanding what the community needs and wants is probably the one thing I've learned from my job.
Wow, cool. I think that it's really clever that you take the opinions of the community and you take the opinion of the community and you use that to get different ideas for your rec center. I think that that's very clever. Can you tell us about the Leisure Access Pass?
Sure. So the city council felt that it was extremely important that not just people that can afford to come into rec centers, so you have to pay to come in. It's $9 or $10 and a little bit less for kids and to come in, but not everybody can access that. And there are certain individuals within the society that they're struggling to make ends meet and live in poverty. And I mean, those things there's a real serious challenges that we face. And city council and the administration felt it was extremely important that everyone has the opportunity to access recreation. So the Leisure Access Pass provides the opportunity for people that can't necessarily at some point in their lives afford to get into rec centers and some other attraction facilities throughout the city of Edmonton. And this provides them an opportunity to come in and use it. And then there's a whole bunch of things that are linked towards being active and being social and recreating, and those improve basically the human condition as far as how you are in society. And those things are extremely important. So the Leisure Access Program allows access for everyone to come in and use these facilities that are paid for by the taxpayers of the city of Edmonton.
Wow, cool. What do you love about living in Edmonton?
Well, I was born and raised here. I think the things that I love about Edmonton are, you know, how well that people are looked after, how accessible the city is, how you know, things that are important like putting money into recreation centers and making sure that people have access to things. Those are the things that I truly love about Edmonton.
Totally. What are you most looking forward to once your rec center opens up again?
You know, it's so we recently just what we did with the rec center closure is like it's not just sitting empty. We're doing a whole bunch of work inside right now to make sure that I talked about it being safe, and we shut down recreation centers every 3 years or so to do major rehab work and things like that, as far as regrouting and changing motors and those kinds of things. So we're doing some of that work now, so we don't have to shut down in 2021 again. And when we do that, it empties out, and we've drained the pools, and you walk in there and it's kind of deadly quiet and silent and kind of sad. And when the rec center's back up and running and we have 1,500 people in there, there's a vibe and a feeling and a noise. And I think I will just act, strange as it sounds, I'll miss that I miss that feeling and that noise, and I'm really looking forward to it coming back.
Wow, cool. During this time of isolation, what is something that brings you joy?
I think number one, looking forward to stuff getting back to normal like everybody else. But I think the things that bring me joy is, spending time with my kids and my family. And I think that's something that it's strange because we're all social distancing, but it seems like I'm checking in with my parents more often. I'm spending more quality time with my sons. I'm spending more quality time with my wife, and, checking in with friends. And I think by being apart, I think it's actually bringing people a little bit closer together.
Interesting. And my last question is, what do you hope we all learn or take away from this experience?
I think that what we need to take away from this experience is that, there's other ways that we can manage, and there's other ways that we can do things. Like we're doing the City Hall School online. Linda would tell you it's one of my favorite things that we do is we bring all the kids into the school and I get to show off. But we're finding ways to conduct business in different means, in different ways, to still try and achieve something. And I think that's what we should take away from this, is that there's lots of opportunities to get something done and lots of ways to figure things out. And I think we have to be resourceful, and I think we need to be positive.
Cool.
Thanks. Well, that was a great interview. Emma, I understand you have some personal connections with Commonwealth Rec Centre.
Yes, I do. I actually had my 6th birthday party there at the Commonwealth pool, and we also stayed in a party room. As well as I go to the turf area, and I have softball practices because we do winter training there sometimes.
That's outstanding. So you're missing it too then, hey?
Yeah.
There's so many things that happen at rec centers. Did you know, students that are watching, I wanted to let you know something else that's special that happens at rec center, and that's a program called Active Living School. So it's a program like City Hall School, but instead of spending 5 days at City Hall, students have the opportunity to spend 5 days at a rec center. So my challenge for you today is plan out your week. Imagine if you had a whole week for your class at a rec center. What activities would you want to try? What team members would you want to meet? What inquiry questions have you got? That's the challenge for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.